bear with me. I'm going to walk you through a journey. And fittingly, my message is called The Manifestation of God's Love Through His People at West. So, okay. Growing up, I lived next door to a family who went to the North Church, and they still do. And they invited me through my whole lifetime, still do. And I went periodically, but I never really went to church. And then my senior year, I was saved at a Harvest Crusade.
Wow.
And I still didn't go to church, though. But there's a good ending. Okay. So around 2000, I started dating Bruce. And we never talked about faith. We never talked about God. None of that. And our lifestyle didn't reflect a believer's lifestyle in the least. So there was a period of time, a transitional period, I was just driving on the 405, and I was just dealing with attack after attack, words to say, but I just said, God, I need you, I need something, please, please. And I won't say like in the movies, it was like, it wasn't. But I felt like something was about to turn. So after about a year, Bruce and I were dating. We went ring shopping. So I don't know if he was serious or he was just like appeasing me because, I was like, this been a year, So I found the ring I wanted, and then Thanksgiving came, and I was like, yeah, he's gonna ask me. Then Christmas, birthday, New Year's, and I was like, Valentine's. So he wrapped up a little box on Valentine's, and he puts it on the dining room table, and I'm like, no. But it wasn't the ring, it wasn't. So it wasn't time yet. So one day, my neighbor called and said, Cyb, there's this new pastor at North. He's starting this Saturday service called Urban Praise. And at the time, Bruce worked Sunday through Thursday for like a decade or something. So it was like, perfect. And I said, I don't know. We never really talk about this. I don't know. Let me just talk to him about it. So I kind of felt like, God was moving in that way, but I didn't know it because I didn't go to church, so I just was like, oh, hey, that would be cool. So one night, Bruce and I were like VHSing and chilling, I guess you would call it. And we're sitting there, and I was like, I think I need something. I mean, we're all cool and stuff, and things are going good, but there's like a hole. I need God, I think. There's this church starting up. I think we should check it out. So, unbeknownst to me, he grew up in the church. I didn't even know that much about him. And so I guess he was like, man, this chick is fly, but she's a heathen. So basically, I think there was reservations, let me just say. So he had the ring, probably since Thanksgiving, but there were reservations. So he says that after that conversation, something tapped him on the shoulder, and he said, I'm sorry, this isn't the way that I anticipated, but, will you marry me? And I got my ring. I upgraded. Like this. Got upgrade. So that Saturday, we went to the second ever Urban Praise. And we never stopped going.
Amen.
We spent our engagement growing under the teaching of Pastor Charles and Pastor Larry. And I mean, Bruce would even be like, do they seem like they're like on me? I'm not supposed to say that. Anyway, so we met lots of you guys that are here, people that are friends for life. I mean, we grew in God together. We were baptized. We started serving together. It's just like such a remarkable time, and because that kind of thing was so new to me, that kind of love and openness, and it just really changed me dynamically. So around the same time we planned on getting married, we were given this building, and we started making plans to plant West. So literally our nuptials coincided, our engagement coincided with Urban Praise Start, our wedding coincided with the planting of this church. So we were nurturing our future, and we were preparing to become the people-loving place. So, God's timing is good. So we were married by Pastor Charles, I think, the weekend after the whole launch.
Wow.
And so, we just began to grow with the people of West. They fed us, they encouraged us, they cheered us on, and you need that when you're newly married and ongoing. And it was just a period of newness, hope, promise. So we spent the next few years serving here, and one day we were like, oh, I think it's time to have a baby. So we continued to serve, and Pastor Charles said, there's seasons for everything, because when you have kids, you're not going to be able to serve. And during that time, Bruce and I were everywhere. We were here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, walking out the door, like we were here. And Pastor Charles is right. He said, there's a season, and when you have kids, it's going to be hard. So a lot of times we're grieved that we can't commit to the same level, but we know, we're in our season. So I guess that's a message. So I was at a WOW event, and I was like, oh, I'm never gonna have kids. So of course, my sisters were like praying over me and stuff. So a couple weeks later, Sister Wintress came up and said, the Lord spoke, you will have 3 children. So I was like, kind of like in my 30s. I want to be pregnant like the rest of my 30s. And, I didn't laugh, but I guess the Lord would consider it the equivalent, like some kind of Bible story I heard about. So, anyway, the fact is I do have 3 children now.
Praise God.
What you probably don't know is they came about in the span of 2 years and 2 months. So not long after, we found out we were pregnant. And we had our first child. We named her Simone, which means God hears. The day she was born, Carolyn stood outside the door because I had too many people in my room, and she was praying me through a very challenging labor. Before she became 1, I became aware of Joanna's situation, and in my heart I was like, ooh, I want her. I really want her. But I'm not really a confrontational person, so I was like, how am I going to tell Bruce? Bruce is going to be like, I don't know, So I already created this situation in my head where he wasn't going to go for it. So when I finally was moved to tell him, he was already on the same page. So not long after Simone's first birthday, Joanna came to live with us. So then there was 2. And immediately when she came to Wes, I don't know if anybody's ever fostered kids or adopted kids. It's totally different, especially when parents are alive and there's other factors. But Pastor Kyle, Dee, Pastor Charles, Carolyn, Karen, just so many people came together and embraced her, uplifted her. There were times she didn't come to me, she came to you guys. And I wasn't really happy about it, but I guess there's a village type of thing. But I was like, wait a minute, Kyle. I won't tell that story. Anyway. So she went from being this hurt, abandoned, closed-up child. If you met her in the beginning, she wore her hair over her face. She wouldn't wear a dress. She always had to wear a sweatshirt. And, now she's at Berkeley and she's blossoming and she's open. I think a lot of that had to do with the community here and how they embraced her and opened up to her and, showed her different things. So, I'm sorry I'm getting long. I'm almost done. So not long after that, we were expecting again. So 2 months after Simone turned 2, Solomon, the wise one, was born.
Yeah.
Life is never and will never be the same. So we went from the 0 to 3 in like 2 years and 2 months. Won't he do what I wrote? But I don't know. That's like, won't he do it? Question mark. No. So Solomon is a testimony to himself. But the one thing that I can say is Wes has provided such a nurturing, safe place where he comes and he's comfortable, he's loved, probably too comfortable, accepted, and really, you can't really grasp the magnitude of what that means because you see him here. He's not that way anywhere. When you walk out in the world and you have a child that's not accepted in that way, it means volumes to be in a place where that support is offered. So from us, we thank you for that. It means a lot forever. Thank you. It's a godsend, I'll say. All right. So throughout the week of my testimony, the devil's work, I got sick. I had a snitch at work, and I wasn't too happy about it. So I was acting like Cybill, not really contrary to what a Christian should be like. And I was like, I gotta get my testimony. I'm supposed to be back in break this week. So I won't say. So I struggled through that. But every single night, I would lay down, and love was just like blanketed through every thought of my testimony. Wow. Nonstop. It was just what my testimony was about. and this place called home. So there's times where I speak to people and they're like, well, I haven't been to church in 3 weeks and nobody called me, or I was in the hospital and nobody visited me. And I always say, well, who do you have a relationship with at the church? Because sometimes people come in and they think like the church walls are going to be like, oh, you're my friend, we're going to call you. And that's not the way it is. So what I've learned is nurturing, developing, reciprocating relationships are important. If you just come here, you run out the door as soon as the church door is open. I mean, there's ample opportunities to connect with people, to develop relationships. We all start small and grow. And those are the people that call you. Like, yeah, it may escalate to Pastor Charles or Janae, crazy, she knows what's going on with everyone, might hear about it. But, you know, it's those relationships that you build independently is what's really valued. It's not about the walls. The walls ain't missing you much. So, Daryl, I'm sorry. Okay, so when I say the manifestation of God's love through his people at West, it's exactly everything that I told you.
Amen.
Every step of my last 15 years, everything monumental, I can look out and see somebody that has been part of that walk. And it's just the outpouring of love, and it's always available to me. And in this hard world, it's so meaningful to know that my sister will text me and say, I just want to know I love you. And I was like, oh, how did you know I was about to go off on someone? I'm going to share love. And so, I mean, it's like, and so if there's ever a place that God's love shines, it's here at West.
Amen.
I've experienced it from 15 years from the start until the day I die. I will be sharing